I'd like to call my very, very dear friend, who I'm such a big fan of, poet, anchor, and creative director, Colors, Rishte, Cineplex, Atika Farooqui on board, please. Give it up for Atika, please. All right, आपके बाकी स्पीकर्स भी तैयार हैं. याद रखिए, ये लोग डिजिटल सेंसेशंस हैं. इनकी स्टार वैल्यू भी जबरदस्त है. तो इसी बात पर अनीशा दीक्षित, द रिक्शा वाली. Give it up for her, ladies and gentlemen. Next champ on board, Aranya Johar, our creator, please. And Naina Sham, writer, director, and actor, filter copy, Pocket Aces. Sonali Badoria is also going to join them. They were having a lovely discussion outside as well. Give it up for her. Thank you. Yeah, baby.
So, hi guys. My name is Atika. In 2003, March, I started my career in television, and it was a channel called Star News. I was in the launching team. In those days, television was big. It was going to be the next big thing. We were very proud that we are a part of this beautiful idiot box, and we were seen all over. And we even actually had to give autographs. The anchors became so big, and we thought that that's the end of the world. It doesn't get better than this. In 2006, 7, 8, 9, the world slowly, swiftly started changing, and there came YouTube. And then all these smart group of people, bunch of people who wanted to do something different. They did not see themselves in films. They did not see themselves in television. They had something edgy, something different, but where would their talent be fit in? That was a challenge. And digital platform gave them that challenge. Now, I work with Colors, and I host a popular celebrity chat show. I make sure that apart from the television content that goes on TV, I do have those small, snacky segments that will go on digital, because that is probably more important to me, because that will give me a validation that, okay, this is what I do, and it can be clicked on YouTube or Google on just a click of a button, it can be searched. So these are a gang of girls who are so bright, they are young, and they have totally changed the way we look at entertainment, basically. Entertainment is no longer what you used to watch on a television with your family and everybody together at one particular time. You can have it on your mobile, and whatever time you want to, in the morning, in the middle of the night, you can. And what you want to consume is what you get. So let's have a good conversation today. Let me start with Aranya. We have been on a couple of other panels also. Aranya, tell me, you're all of 19, right?
Yes, I am.
So you people are called millennials?
Yes.
Okay.
Proudly.
Proudly. That is a word we did not know of. We got to know of it just recently, about 2 to 3 years ago. There's some concept called millennials, and they're always on their phone. They basically, yeah, they're always looking down. They don't look up. And they are the ones, all their reference they get is from internet. Yep. You don't watch TV, and sometimes do watch films.
Yes.
You came up with your poems. Yes. They are basically on social issues.
Yes.
Though you are a millennial, but what you write is very, very serious.
Yes.
How did your life change?
Honestly, not much. I still have to worry about my attendance at college. My mom still yells at me once in a while. But I think what truly changed is a lot of young girls and boys started following me on, Instagram and Facebook and Twitter, and I realized that there's a certain amount of responsibility I have as, to inform them about what's happening and, feed them the right information, correct information, especially considering how much fake news is online. And I need to have an opinion, a constructive opinion about everything. So that means I'm constantly reading, learning, finding out, facts and news, which is a great responsibility to have, but also sometimes it gets really overwhelming, because I realize that to a certain extent that if I say something stupid now, there's going to be an old person in this room who's going to say all 19-year-olds are this way. Yeah. So it's a lot of good and a lot of bad as well, but it all intermingles beautifully.
Okay. Now we come to Naina Sham. Naina, she's always into serious stuff. A couple of her poems have gone viral where she talks about why women are perceived in only that particular way and things like that.
Right.
You do a lot of fun stuff.
I try to, yes.
हाँ, आपके उसमें games होंगे, कुछ अजीब सी चीज़ होगी कि मैं अगर if I'm in a bad mood और मैं देखूँ तो it's assured that मैं अच्छे mood में आ जाऊँगी. That is something that you've kind of has become
Yes,
your.
yes.
So tell me, what kind of a pressure do you feel while making fun stuff? Sometimes I may be having a bad day, I may not be that funny or creative. Then what happens?
There is pressure to write funny and be funny, especially when we are in a society where women are not expected to be that funny or are not considered to be very funny. Very surprisingly, this is my first job. Filter Copy is my first job.
What's your age?
I'm 23 years old.
Gosh, okay.
So there, at least at Filter Copy, I was always through my life, oh, Naina's funny. Have you met that girl? Oh, she's funny. As if it's a very surprising thing. It's shocking that I was funny. But here at least I met a bunch of people, a lot of men, a lot of women who weren't very surprised about me doing something well or something bad. It didn't matter.
Okay.
So the same kind goes for the content that we create as a channel as well. We try and keep to the roots of slice of life that anyone across the world has experienced. Yes, our language is Hindi and we make content mostly in Hindi and English, but anywhere in the world, people should be able to relate to what we make by just the experiences that we portray. Okay. Everyone's laughed at jokes, so a bad joke, yes, sure, that works.
Tell everybody that bad joke.
Oh
Sonakshi
no,
Sinha.
I don't remember a single bad joke.
Please.
Clearly why that's a bad joke.
Give that out.
Then even the videos that we make, right? Even if it is a fashion conversations with mom, it is my life story. Every time I wear something, my mom's saying, it's so hot outside, why are you wearing a jacket? The second I take the jacket off, I'm wearing a sleeveless, it's fine, just go ahead, no problem. Yeah, that's fine. So things like that, those are scenes that are extremely relatable to girls of our age. And who will be later, the young ones as well. So
you're right.
Yeah.
So you said you're basically changing the perception of women that was earlier fed into the narrative. That women need to be only glamorous. They wake up a certain way. They go back to bed in that nightie and this and that.
Yep, and make
And
chai.
that is actually changed by you guys. You know, you're making fun stuff and you show women as just human beings, as the way everybody is.
All the embarrassing aspects of it as well.
Yes.
Which is the main point of it. We are as clumsy as, I'm the clumsiest person you know.
No, I didn't say yes to that, but okay.
Yes.
अनिशा, आपका एक YouTube चैनल है जिसका नाम है रिक्शे वाली.
Yes,
ऐसा नाम कौन रखता है भाई?
हाँ, वो मेरे पूरी फैमिली ने भी मुझसे यही सवाल किया था कि क्यों रिक्शा वाली. हमारे पूरे फैमिली का नाम आपने कटा दिया है, लाइक नाक कटा दी basically.
She was born in Germany and she studied in New York.
LA.
In LA.
Yes.
Oh, great.
So basically, what has happened is, as you were saying, I'm born and brought up in Germany. मैं इंडिया आई करीबन 8 साल पहले और मुझे एक्टर बनना था, जैसे everybody's dream in life. In Bollywood, sadly, Bollywood did not accept me for a good reason, but I'm very happy about. And then I stumbled upon a rickshaw. I mean, stumble, matlab, they're everywhere. And I was in the rickshaw, I was meeting a friend, and I started taking selfies and videos in it. But aise, like every girl generally has taken a picture in a rickshaw for sure. So later on, I came home. I'm like, wow, yeah, this is actually pretty cool. You know, in a rickshaw, like it's a little small studio in itself, you know, where nobody can see you, whatever. So I thought, yeah, rickshaw is such an important thing in India, in our lives. Every day we travel in rickshaw, but nobody's utilized it as such. So rickshaw wala hamesha tha, but rickshaw wali koi nahi thi. I said, chalo, let's give this a shot. Literally, it was just an idea. Like, let's go and take a lot of rickshaw wala's numbers, whom I can call, to Aram Nagar in Versova, make them park the rickshaw there. I used to take lots of bags, put stuff in it, go to Aram Nagar, give the rickshaw wala 100 rupees. आप जाइए भैया, मुझे 1 घंटे के लिए कुछ करना रिक्शा में. And he was like, ये क्या कर रही है? Actually, I didn't know what I was doing, to be fair. And that is how it started. I just started speaking into the, like put my phone up in the rickshaw in the middle with like a gorilla pod and just started saying stuff. And that's how it started. So then rickshaw wali came because I was making videos in the rickshaw. That's the reason.
Interesting. And Sonali, आपका जो YouTube channel है, you basically post your dance videos. And one video of yours, Nasheedi Chad Gayi, is at 20 million views. And it's a simple video shot on phone, and you just put it out there, and look at the way people consumed it.
It wasn't even supposed to be a YouTube video. I just used to shoot my videos for fun. And I was in IT back then, in Forces. And yeah, it just happened to me.
Wow. So, क्या उसके popular होने के बाद आपने अपनी life का direction change करना चाहा?
Yeah, definitely.
Was that thing giving you a clue that something lies ahead in life, something lies there?
Yeah, so I wanted to be a dancer, I think, since when I was born. As far as I can remember, I used to dance. I wanted to be a dancer, but then you know how parents are. Doctor ban jao, nahi to engineer ban jao. So I had bio and maths and everything that I could. But yeah, dance, that keeda was always there. And with this video, definitely, my life took a turn. It took like a full 360-degree turn, because after this, I realized, okay, there's something I can do. I can make more of such videos because I have a lot of dance in me. I just had to take it out, just shoot it. And
so you wanted to be a professional dancer or a choreographer or something like that?
At that age, you don't know whether you want to be a dancer or a choreographer, what is the difference. You don't know all that. I just wanted to dance. I just wanted to dance all my life, and it's not that I didn't want to be in IT. That was cool. It was okay. But yeah, then when this worked out, then I knew, okay, this is something I can do. Even when my videos worked out for me, I did not know whether to leave my job or whether this can get me something and where can I go with this. Even now, I'm not 100%
So you left your job?
I left my job anyway.
Which year?
October last year. It's going to be 1 year now. Yeah.
Because you were getting the offers.
Yeah, so I was getting work. With YouTube, you need to be consistent and you need to create more content. So once my content worked out for me, I knew I had to do this. And to be able to do that, to give my 100%, I left the job, irrespective. And yeah, it's going great now for me. I'm happy with my decision.
The biggest question that every parent would ask their child, so are you earning enough?
Yeah, so my dad was very skeptical. Are you serious? You want to leave your job?
Yes.
It's been 5 years you're working. You were at a great position. How can you leave it? But then, yeah, I had to take a call. My dad had never supported me on the dance thing ever. He's in Navy, Indian Army. So he's like a, come on, engineer ban jao, shaadi kar lo, bacche kar lo, bas.
Okay.
But at the same time, he's chill. He understands that I wanted to dance. And when people started telling him, oh, teri beti ko dekha. At that time, he was like, okay, theek hai, job chhodna hai, tu dekh le.
So basically, this digital world is the wind beneath your wings. Yeah. You would have been something else had it not been for the digital platform, right? Traditionally, पिछले शायद 7-8 साल पहले तक हमें लगता था it's a male battleground. जो करेंगे यहाँ पे अब how many men? I think predominantly there are
lots of men in the room. We can see men. Yes. 80% men.
And the universe that consumes the digital world and the universe that is working inside this arena is consisting of mostly men. Being women, औरतें, लड़कियां होने के नाते आपको क्या challenges सामने आए?
Why are you on YouTube?
Because you are actually putting yourself entirely out there for the consumption of people. You have to be there to receive their flack, their negative comments, their abuse. Everything is out there in the public for your parents to watch too. How do you deal with that, Anisha?
In the beginning, so I think it's a phase, right? So I think at this stage we all would agree that we don't really care much what comments we get and stuff because we kind of grown over it. But I think शुरुआत में क्या होता था जब आपका channel जब आप beginner हो, right? Like, and I've spoken to a lot of younger creators also who are just coming into the market and they all ask, how do you deal with hate online, right? And I think especially for women, and I'm pretty sure everybody has dealt with that, is the beginning you start doing anything online is you will be judged and we will get all kinds of bad words, like in all combinations, in whatever way. And in the beginning, you don't have a very strong sense of, confidence and holding that back, right? Correct. So that breaks you. So I personally feel the biggest challenge is in the beginning when you start and you have nobody who supports you, and on top of that you have people who are constantly writing hate comments and bad words to you. That's the moment where it breaks you. So I personally feel the biggest challenge as a woman online, generally even today or wherever, is to be strong enough to face whatever comes at you, especially sadly from a lot of men, but also from a lot of women who are also evil online, sadly.
Really?
Yes.
I've also, when my video went up, I got a lot of rape threats and death threats.
Really?
A lot. And my parents were very concerned. And they were like, okay, if any parcel would come home, mom would tear the address.
But why would you get rape threats? You were
Because I
basically
was-
talking about women, or because of the explicit words that you had used?
A bit of both, And also I feel like, when I spoke to a few men about this, they were telling me that the women were watching my videos, and women were watching my videos and then talking to their husbands about times they felt that they were being disrespected. So it was starting that conversation at root level where they were saying, this is not okay, you can't treat me like this, you can't talk to me like this, you can't expect me to do this. And it was starting this, conversation at home. And I realized that we as women have always been told that, this is what you have to be, this is what you have to do. And this was one time I let myself define myself. And a lot of women don't get the privilege of doing that. So my parents were extremely concerned when this happened. And I've had experiences where people have come outside my college, and it's been truly an overwhelming
To threaten you?
experience. Huh?
They came outside your college to threaten you?
No, they said, so there's this college that's fairly close to mine. These boys came and they said, you shouldn't be making these videos, you're going to end up dead. And I said that if I die because of a woman's issues, then it's going to be a good way to die. Yeah. So I was like, fine. I mean, if this is, Malala got shot in the head for talking about education.
Yeah.
So if it takes another woman to go to start a conversation, then so be it.
Thank you, Aranya.
at the
Thank
end
you
of
for
the
being
day-
so bold. Wow.
But also at the end of the day, something I've realized is women creators always have each other's back. Every time there's trolling happening, there's another woman creator messaging you, we've got your back, we support you, don't worry about it. Every time I feel like shit, I message Gurmeher. I say, hey, I'm feeling really bad. I saw this comment and you said, look at what you've done, look at the opportunities you've got. And at the end of the day, that's what it boils down to, knowing you have a support system and a community that backs you up and all these things happen.
Of course. Naina?
Exactly, it's very different so Filter Copy is a channel against individual creators, right?
Yeah.
So from the most surface level where I can talk about is when I've started acting in videos, and the comments that more than just being a woman, for example, for being dark or for being slightly plump or anything, right? Like if opinions are opinions for people, it is our a prerogative to take it the way we want. I have felt really bad when I've been called ugly or in the comments a lot of times, sure, in the beginning, but then I met people, I talked to people who tell you that they don't have the opportunity that you have to talk to millions of people,
Yes.
on this platform every day.
Correct.
So it doesn't matter what two people say against what another million people, will like about you. So those things I have learned. I think anyone should, a man or a woman, should just learn to take in their stride to get better as a person, I guess.
And if I can just add something to what she said, I think it's also important to understand that, right? That even if they write hate, it's that frustration of their own, which they're kind of putting out on you because they don't have anybody to speak at home. Maybe they had a bad day at work, and then suddenly they see us or somebody else who's doing something different and something out of the box, and that anger comes out of their own frustration. So I honestly don't even take it wrongly. I just tell them, guys, you just need a big tight hug. I give love punches to people.
And also,
Sonali, yeah,
sorry,
you're saying something?
you can't please everyone. There's no way that there's going to be, when mom started seeing rude comments on my video, I told her, Mom, no art is universally appreciated apart from Baba Sehgal's music.
But
Correct.
don't you think our parents have started being a lot more worried about the comments than
Yeah.
we ever do?
Yeah,
Oh,
very.
my
Absolutely.
videos come out and my
They are
mom, the
hysterical.
first 100 comments. Oh, did you see that comment? She calls me. Even I don't
They
see
always
it.
focus
My
on the
parents do,
negative.
yeah.
And she goes and starts hating on the haters. So she replies, how dare you tell this to my daughter? Who are you? I will find you and kill you. I don't know. I'm like, Mom, stop. Like, Mom.
Do you ever reply to them, go get a life, Something like that?
No. That's, I think
Engaging
that's
with
where
them is the wrong thing.
maturity has to come. Just ignore, dude. Don't.
I do reply,
entertain that.
actually. I do reply, but I reply in a sense of explaining that, hey, don't be negative.
Okay.
You know, you need to find something of yourself. You need to take that energy and put it in your own life. Do something better. Because I've realized just hating with hate does make no sense. So just, I try to guide them. And sometimes, actually, many haters have appreciated that and have become Ricksters, who are my fans. They become Ricksters because of that. Because, like, oh, wow, you
Ricksters?
actually... Yeah, the Rickshawali Ricksters. My fans
Wow. Rickshaws.
are Ricksters. Anyway.
Okay, now let's talk about a different aspect of this entire discipline. So once you get into this, उसको कहते हैं ना कि आप आ गए हैं, आपने कश्ती जला दी, अब वापस नहीं जा सकते हैं. You can't go back to IT, you can't go back to your respective jobs because this commands a certain routine. You need to get into the system. One or two videos have to be shot and edited and put out there for people to get into a habit of viewing your channel and subscribing. And this is the entire ecosystem that you create. Now the problem is, how do you monetize it? When do you break even? When do you realize that it is worth more than the job that I was doing? Sonali?
So for me, as a dancer, I have this disadvantage. I can't monetize my videos. So I have to depend on a song, which is a third party, so it gets copyright claim. So yeah, YouTube has no direct money for me. But then yes, it's given me recognition. It's given me fame. People know me, and that's when money follows. So I get a lot of work through it. I started getting work, and that's when I had to compare whether or not I can survive on this. Initially, it was honestly difficult to survive. When I left my job, a few months were a little, there was struggle. But then it's all worth it in the end because I'm doing it for my passion. I'm dancing in the end. And yeah, so monetization.
And you're sure that it'll only grow? Can that surety ever be there?
I am sure that I am going to be consistent. I can give out videos, dance videos all my life. I can do that. But obviously, you can't be sure because you don't know how people like me today. People might like someone else tomorrow and they might not be interested to watch me anymore. I'm going to grow old. I have to be fit. I might become fat. I might have kids. So there are a lot of things I keep thinking about.
Correct.
But then obviously, that will not determine what I'm doing today.
Okay.
That's in the
But
future.
everything has a lifespan,
Pro and
right?
con.
Everything comes in phases.
I feel like even the content, for example, what BuzzFeed is known for or what Filter Copy is known for, there is a certain thing that when audiences come to us, they expect something of us. At one point, they're going to get bored of it.
Definitely.
So you as a dance creator or us as a entertainment, whatever it is our job to keep evolving as the time goes by as well.
And
Otherwise,
how do
we're
you
not
do
going
that,
to.
Naina?
We have
How
to
do you do that?
keep, if there are, whether it's pop culture to trends to anything, you have to be able to change with time to make content about those things that my sister is 7 years old. In 10 years, I should be able to make content that only she knows about. How else will those people ever relate to what I'm going to be making? Or we as a channel are going to be making. So that's the
So
constant.
have you seen a decline in the viewership if you cease to be different?
Not at all, actually. So I think that is one of the best things that we realized much earlier on, that we will have to keep changing with time. So we kept. I think all of us creators in today's day are doing that. Whether
People
it's
like new.
Yeah, anything, and we have to keep changing to that because we don't want to die. For example, I keep using this at some point. For example, Netflix, right? It's like a grocery store or a supermarket that you have hundreds of examples of the same product.
Correct.
That's Netflix. But Filter Copy is not that. Or a BuzzFeed is not that. They come to us for a particular item and a kind of item. You have to, at some point, if it's not Filter Copy, it's going to be another channel that we are going to create that serves that audience. You will have to be ready to change it according to that.
Correct. And do you think, Aranya, humor works more in the digital world as compared to serious issues? People are more prone and likely to munch on snacky content, fun content that will give
Luckily,
give
not
them-
anymore, right? Fortunately, not
I don't
anymore. I
think
would have said
so.
that was the case before,
Yeah?
yes.
I think there are people who, definitely want the fun stuff, but that's after they watch really emotional, thought-provoking stuff. They're like, this is too much. I need to watch something
Yeah.
a little more relaxing, which is great because it complements each other very well.
And also everybody has a different mood, right? Today I'm in a mood of wanting to watch something more serious or something that is empowering. Tomorrow I'm like, just have like 5 minutes, let's watch some funny video, you know? So I think it just changes with time, right? You can't say you only like pasta, right? You like pasta, you like Chinese, you like Indian desi khana. You know, so वैसा content का भी same situation.
And luckily, one person can subscribe to 500 YouTube channels.
So
You have the
that's
variety
crazy.
always there. Okay, now tell me, regularity, consistency, frequency are the keywords for the success of a YouTube channel. How regular, how consistent you need to be, and what should be the ideally, what should be the frequency? Like for Instagram, the rules are different. Facebook, the rules are different. There are some rules that have been set. People have studied the viewership patterns. When are people consuming more content? I was surprised to know that people are consuming more content on the weekdays and not on the weekends because they're mostly in office and there is free Wi-Fi. So lots of content is being consumed then. So do you have those rules to follow?
So yes, like we're a 3-year-old channel, right? So back in the day, we used to think that, we'll release our videos on Tuesday and then we'll release on Thursday around this time, around 12:30 in the afternoon. We thought that videos would never work on the weekends because people are busy, they're spending time with their families during the weekends, they won't have time to check their phones. That's actually not that true.
Really?
Millennials are always on their phone.
They have all the time.
So, one of our biggest hits have been released on a Friday evening or on Saturday or Sunday.
Which one was that?
I think our Father's Day video was released on a Saturday because Father's Day was a Saturday.
And how many views did it get?
I think it's done around 14 million on Facebook and around 6 million on YouTube today, as of today. Yeah, so what we used to think, we did think of those things, and of course we should be thinking of those things as well. Of course, Father's Day videos will do better if you put them out on that specific day. Mother's Day, if you will make a video or release a video about mothers, it has chances of doing better. But you just have to, what you were talking about consistency, we couldn't make more than a video 2 years ago. Now we shoot 3 videos a week and release max 3 or more a week. So it changes with time, and once your subscriber, somebody who's gets a notification, expects your video to come out on a Tuesday, you have to follow
And
that.
plus, there's a lot of work being generated. I know a couple of DOPs, cinematographers, who shoot only for digital, and they charge like 20,000, 25,000 per day of shoot, and they're shooting digital, which means there are people who are ready to pay them that kind of money, which means in turn they are earning that kind of money.
I think in terms of consistency, just to what you were saying, right? I feel it's not, of course it's important, you find your own way of how much you want to put out, right? But I think it's also about the quality of content, what type of content, and how comfortable you are. I think we have now reached a stage where we can like, okay, even if we just make 1 video, or maybe 2 videos, or maybe just once a month. See, there's not one creator who makes as many videos or lesser videos or whatever. I think the audience likes what you make, and hence they come back at whatever time. That's what I believe, at least. So I don't feel pressurized, let's make more, but try to make more good content in that way.
My agency hates me because I'm not consistent at all. Every time I meet them, they're like, when is your next video coming out? And I say next week, and it's like 3 months later. And Sana from my agency is sitting right here.
Where is Sana? Show us your hand. Where is Sana? Oh, you must catch hold of her.
For me, and my agency knows that for me, I would rather put out a good, or like a work I'm proud of, like a piece I'm proud of, rather than just put up a video once every 2 months. So even if it's a 6-month break, but I'm really proud of the video, and even if it, God forbid, doesn't do well, it doesn't pinch me. Because I know that I have complete trust in that piece. And so far, touch wood, it has worked. Even if I don't upload for a few months, I put something back, people recognize my face, they click on my face. And I feel like the really cool thing is, like, I'm incredibly young. So what happens is people don't look at me as...
I like the way she says I'm incredibly young. Wish we could say the same too.
It's true. And people don't look at me as some higher, social influencer. They look at me like they're my friends. So they'll say, hey, watched your video. They'll message me, give me feedback. And I really like that it's such an interpersonal relationship that I share with people who follow my work. So at the end of the day, I don't go too much into consistencies. For me, it's more about like just putting a video out I'm proud of. But again, very different work that we're doing.
Okay. Now, even the biggest stalwarts of cinema, like even Raj Kapoor and Yash Chopra, every film of theirs was not a blockbuster. Every film was not an award winner. Hence, your every content may not be as good. So, like for example, your first piece of poetry was so beautiful and it broke the internet and things like that. Do you feel that pressure कि अब मैं जो दूसरी लिखूंगी उससे लोग उतना खुश नहीं होंगे तो कहेंगे ये उतना अच्छा नहीं था वो one time wonder था she just got lucky. Do you feel that?
I thought that before I put out my second video, and then it surprised me more because how much I scored in my first video, I got double that on my second video in a shorter time. So I was truly, and I don't really understand logistics with the internet, and I was truly surprised. But there's definitely this, urgency you feel where there is certain amount of, there's a quality you need to live up to. The people who follow your work want a certain amount of, good work. And I think that's what I would strive after more than 80 million views, 50 million views. Because not everything that has a lot of views is good. I think people forget that, So that's just something I keep in mind, that just because it has a lot of views doesn't mean it's good. My most viewed piece is not, according to me, my best piece. So I think it's really important to evaluate the artwork, even the video, evaluate the video as content and then evaluate it with the views it got, the traction it got as completely different identities.
I think that's very important because that's basically where she stays grounded, right? So even we create 3 pieces of content a week, and I always tell people in the team, and I've been hearing this a lot as well, a good video is different from a video that's done great numbers. Our own videos, I'm not talking about our competitors at all. So you have to always be able to, when we make our videos, we have to be from the writing stage, pay so much attention to making it good content and not think of just the numbers. Of course they matter, it is a business, but first get the content right, the numbers will come if you've gotten the formula right.
And sometimes you don't get numbers, but sometimes you're just happy with what you made. So sometimes my videos, I love them so much. And I know the dance is amazing, but it's sometimes probably because of the song. Maybe the song is not a hit. The video doesn't reach those many views as I expect, but it's okay. As far as I'm happy with the content.
I was just actually telling her in the car today that there are, she was asking me, which is your favorite videos? And I was like, these and these videos. But I know as a fact that they are not become huge hits. But I know till today, those are my passion, my little babies, right? So in that regard, of course, back in the days, it didn't matter to me as much. But it's it doesn't matter. It's your content and your baby, and that's what counts. Doesn't matter how many views it has, I guess.
Okay. अच्छा एक तरीका ये होता है कि one specializes in one genre. You want to eat South Indian food, you go to a South Indian restaurant. You want to eat a Punjabi, something you would go. In digital world, what works? If your YouTube channel makes a mixed bag of content. Sometimes it can be family fun, sometimes it can be something about friendship, sometimes it can be something about college. What's that? Sometimes it can be about college life. That's a sign.
What happened?
Hello, your time is up. Ladies, leave.
This is over. We have to go.
Okay, we got it. We got
This
it.
is it. Cut
Okay,
it.
last question. So it's good to specialize in one genre, or you can be throwing up a huge kind of beautiful mix of everything to the viewer. We'll start with you.
Of course. So it is very important to make socially relevant videos as well as funny videos, and they can be a combination of the same video. Anything can happen. Of course, like Pocket Aces has 3 different channels, right? Dice makes web series, Filter Copy makes short format, Gobble makes food videos, like things like that. So you have to be able to, for example, Adulting is a show that's the entire crew is filled with women. The directors are women, the ADs are women, the actors are women, everything like that. So you have to be able to talk about what you want to talk about, like female relationships to socially relevant topics to everything on your different platforms. And you can dedicate yourself in the channels that you have and different videos that you can. Like I know that she makes serious stuff. Like Anisha tries to make socially relevant topics in her own videos, and some are comedy, some are socially relevant, things like that. So yeah.
Any last words, ladies? Now that we've been given a signal to leave?
I keep telling, a lot of girls keep telling me that they want to pursue YouTube, and I tell them that, YouTube or poetry or whatever, nothing is an easy route. Everything takes, hard work and effort, but at the end of the day, if you're proud of your work, that's what's going to feel the most rewarding.
I think my only thing is we need more women online, or more content creators, because we have a lot of guys, but we are still very few women online. So I think the more women come, the more conversations we can have, and more it'll help just generally for everybody.
Correct. You?
Just women are equally funny. They can be as
That's the point.
Yeah, that is my point. That's always been.
Don't judge women, guys. Don't judge them.
Yes, they can be equally funny, they can be fun. And
Yeah,
they
they can be
just
fun,
light.
as embarrassing as you, and that's.
Okay. You?
I think when it comes to entertainment, it's only talent that should matter and not the gender. So I would love Matt Stefnina as a dancer, even if it was a girl. I mean, even if he was a girl. I think dance does not see a gender. I'm sure comedy
Art
and
doesn't
anything,
see a
art
gender.
doesn't see a gender. So I think.
Great. So we see, did you see woman power here on stage? Do you see the future as something that is bright? The future is bright. I'll summarize this with the last 3 stanzas of my poem actually, which I wrote on women, and it goes like this. तुम अपनी बेटियों के लब न सिया करो, उन्हें अपने ख्वाबों का तवाफ करना होगा। जब मकीनों के हाथ गिरेबान छूने लगें, तो मकान ही क्या शहर बदलना होगा। ए जुनू पसंद औरत, अपने शानों पे सूरज रख, हर बेटी के ख्वाबों का शहर बसाना है। हज़रत आयशा और खतीजा की आल है ना हम, हमें भी तो हश्र में मुँह दिखाना है। अखबारों में क्यों छपे हर दिन तेरी वीरानी, जिस्म लहजा ही नहीं रूह को निखरना होगा। किवाड़ों के पीछे से आ, सड़कों पे निकल, तारीख की बदरंग साजिशों से लड़ना होगा। So, हम लड़ रहे हैं, कुछ टीवी पे लड़ रहे हैं, कुछ फिल्म्स में लड़ रहे हैं, कुछ डिजिटल पे लड़ रहे हैं। बहरहाल ये खिलाड़ी काफ़ी बिंदास थे और मज़ा आया। थैंक यू सो मच एंड ऑल द बेस्ट फॉर व्हाटएवर यू डू इन लाइफ।